Okay, so it's Tuesday. You know what time it is. Let's talk about the power of our words. Let's talk about optimizing our throat chakra. So, in today's segment, okay, of the Unleashed Alchemy TV show on YouTube and the Unleashed Alchemy podcast, we're talking about how we're going to use our words to enchant the most mundane parts of our lives. Okay, let's jump right in. This is such a passion of mine to speak specifically about the power of our words because they work. I know that it can take a moment for you to actually wrap your head around the fact that your words, what you speak, they are deeds. Every time you say something, those words go out like soldiers to accomplish what you say. We don't talk about that enough, but our power to create with our words is our natural state of being. It is natural for us. So here's a side note here. Instead of you trying to wrap your head around that, if you're still trying to understand, don't focus on trying to understand. All right. First, focus on practicing using your throat chakra to speak what you want. All right. And then do the research on how effective your breath is. First, look at your anatomy. Study your anatomy. When I say study your anatomy, I'm not talking about doing a deep dive, only if you want to, but just to know what you are made of. That will help you to really set the intention every time you speak so that you're using words that you want to see actually occur in your life. Okay, that's a side note. So now, specifically in this episode, I want to talk about how infusing the power of your words and the power that you carry in your breath, because the power that's in your breath is your energy, how you can carry that power into your daily life to transform the most mundane parts. Okay. Now, we miss out on using our words to transform the most mundane parts of our lives because when it comes to spirituality, we tend to look for these big occurrences, these big dramatic spiritual experiences, right? And part of the reason why is social media. You have a lot of people on social media sharing their spiritual practice, talking about their spiritual practice, teaching spiritual practices, which is fine, okay? And it's very informational. A lot of people are sharing their spiritual experiences and the results of their rituals, which is wonderful. In some cases, people do too much. You will always hear me say that your spiritual practice is personal. It's yours. What you experience is yours. To me, your experiences with spirituality, the way that you practice, that is just as personal as your social security number. It's just as personal as your physical address where you live. You would not share that on social media. Okay. And like I said, not everyone is doing this. And even people that are teaching spiritual practices, I'm going to say that more often than not, people are doing it in a way that is responsible, where they're sharing things to help people. Not to say, well, hey, I'm more powerful because I had this experience. And if you're not experiencing this, then you're less powerful and you need to do this. No, I believe for the most part that people that are sharing their experiences, that they're doing it to help people. Okay. They're doing it to help people stay grounded, right? Then you have those people that are sharing so-called spiritual experiences, and they could be lying. And this is when you have to use your discernment, all right, to determine that, all right, to feel that, to pick up on that, all right. So what happens is when we see, the reason why I'm bringing up social media is because if you are not experiencing those big mystical moments and, mystical moments after meditation and during meditation, you could, if you're not confident in your spiritual practice, you may start to feel like, well, I'm not having those practices or those experiences. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. And I want to tell you right now, no, you're not doing anything wrong. Whatever experiences that you are supposed to have on your spiritual odyssey, those will be experiences that will come up at the right time and that you can infuse into your everyday life to help you in your everyday life, to help you with a challenge or to help you with a problem. Okay. People often take these spiritual experiences just to have an experience. If it's not helping you in your physical life, so what? Who cares about your astral travel? All right, get it? All right, so let's keep going. Now, you're not going to question, if you're not having these big experiences that you hear about, see online, no longer are you going to question whether you're doing something right or if you're powerful. The moment you question is done right now. All right, you are powerful, own it, sit in your throne. So remember this, and I'm going to say this again. You'll have spiritual experiences that will guide you in this life. Whether those experiences come through using ritual, using herbs, using candles, using incense, using roots, using crystals, using a rock. Either way, whatever tool you use, the first part of your practice is in your word. It's in your words. It's right here. Before there was incense, the ancients had their word. Before there was a candle, there was the word, a word. Do you get where I'm going with this? Okay. The ancients, let's talk about them for a minute. Our indigenous, our ancient ancestors from above and below. All right. The ancients always had their words and their intention. Okay. I suspect that they never laid down the power of their word just because they were involved in some mundane task in their life. All right. I also suspect that they didn't care and had no realization or consciousness of a spiritual experience that was big or small. I'm not even so sure that they had those labels. Okay. Their focus was on their divine connection. Their focus was on their portal, which is also your portal, which is your throat chakra. That's what their focus was on. So now here we are in 2025 in our physical bodies. Now we have to come back to that knowledge, okay, and start by infusing the power of our words into the mundane. All right. Now, how will you do this? I have a few examples to give you. So you can start by speaking over and into the products that you use every day. The products that you use every day. So I'm going to give you an example. One example is this. When you shower, the soap you use has now become an enchanting tool. So as you're cleansing your physical skin, your physical body, now because of your words, you can speak cleansing and clearing in your auric field. So not only now are you physically clean, not only are you physically cleaning your body, but you are now cleansing your auric field. You could even use this same technique, whether you're showering or if you're taking a bath. So if we hear a lot about, cleansing baths, which are effective, okay? If you did not have all of the things that you hear about that go in a cleansing bath, you can still speak into the water of your bath. And your spiritual bath, whatever your intention is, it can be just as powerful because you are the magic. You are the ritual. And also, the example that I used with the shower, now that just throws out the excuse of not having a bathtub, because if you don't have a bathtub, well, you've just spoken to your soap. Again, your soap has just become your auric field, the cleansing tool for your auric field. It is that simple, people. It really is. And you really are that powerful. Let me give you another example. When you if you use fragrance, your perfume, cologne, all right? So guess what? Not only is that fragrance a scent that you've added as an accessory to your complete look, now you smell good. Well, guess what? You can use your words to now speak into that fragrance to magnetize you for things good and perfect, to amplify the words that you've spoken, to even amplify the words that you've spoken in your soap. And so you may be saying, well, what if I can't take the lid off the perfume or the cologne? Perfect. Problem solved. Put the tube or the bottle in your hand, rub it between your hands. Guess what? Now the bottle has your energy. This is about intention. So while you're rubbing the bottle in between your hands, you are speaking. You're speaking your desire. You are now a magnet, a perfect magnet for all that belongs to you by divine right. Just a sample of what you can speak, all right? Also, you can use it. So while you're rubbing the perfume bottle in your hand, whatever it is, whatever container it is, you're saying, okay, I attract more money in perfect ways. I attract profitable business opportunities. I attract profitable relationships. I attract advancing, elevating communication with people. You're speaking. Your words are going out into the ethers to accomplish what you say. So, when you don't have crystals, when you don't have incense, you still have your word. You will always have your word. No one can take that away from you. And so what you're doing when you're speaking with those products that you're using, when you're speaking into them and on them, you're training your subconscious to know that every time you use your soap, every time you use your fragrance, every time you put on that perfume, to expect whatever you have spoken. And you use that stuff daily. Can you imagine the enchantments that you will see and occur in your life just because of those simple things? All right. You will literally start to see things fall into place. You'll start to be guided to take certain actions that you've never taken before, that you probably never even thought about, because your words are invoking from you a specific expression. What is that specific expression? The words that you've spoken. Okay? That's your specific expression. That has become your standard. You'll start to notice that people will be aligned on your path, that the very thing that you've spoken, you'll have conversations that you didn't even initiate. That will be, these people that will be aligned on your path will be instrumental to you in your manifestations. See, this is how you make the mundane magical. All right. So I want you to give me your feedback. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave me a comment. Let me know which one of those that you tried. Okay. Or maybe you are already in that practice. If you would like, share with us how you make the mundane magical. If you are listening on the Unleashed Alchemy podcast, do the same. Share it. Okay. Share this episode. Also, I want you to remember that August 31st, Unleash Your Sovereignty is my 8-week program where you're going to move into your sovereign being and operate in your spiritual technology with complete liberation and complete freedom. No more programming, no more fear to access the power and the spiritual gifts that are already yours. That is what that program is for. So the link to get more information and to get a breakdown of what we're going to cover in each of those 8 sessions, I want you to click on the link, reserve your spot. If you're looking to work with me one-on-one, you can still do that. I have the 24 session package, which is available. I am also still taking 155-minute sessions with you. If you don't want the 24 session package, or if you just want one appointment, you can do that as well. It is 55 minutes, and all with the 24 sessions and the one-time 55-minute, those are video, where we will be on video. We need to see each other. All right. You can check that out also on unleashedalchemy.com. I have individual courses and books that will also be instrumental to you on your spiritual odyssey. All right. And to grow more and more and more into who you are as a sovereign, rich, wealthy, powerful being. All right. So until next time. Oh, and I want to mention this. As we are talking about exercising our throat chakra and allowing our throat chakra to be at optimal function, I have a specific book on my website. It is an ebook, by the way. All my books are ebooks for the moment. Okay. There's a book that I wrote called Cast Your Spell. Perfect accompaniment with this segment that we do on Tuesday regarding the throat chakra. Go online, get it, download it, and have it near you when you're listening to this segment on Tuesdays. All right. So that's what I wanted to say. Until next time, be sovereign and speak your word.